Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's the End of the Lab podcast, and Happy New Year's to everybody. So today's episode, we're going to review college football semifinals and get ready for the national championship on Monday between the Michigan Wolverines and the Washington Huskies. We also preview and check out some of the stocks up and stocks down on some of these prospects that I saw. I wasn't impressed with a couple of them. I'm not going to lie to you. And then we look at the Week 18 playoff scenarios for this week for the National Football League. So buckle up with Lady E and CHenry and your boy DT. It's time to enter the lab.
My fault. What happened? I'm eating Popeye.
This man says eating some Popeyes. Commercial.
Ready for a break.
Hey, this clip.
Wipe your hands. Wipe your hands. And
Commercial.
We over here about to die of thirst over here.
Thing on the menu today, bro, and that's work. That's work for 60 minutes, bro. That's the only job we got to do today, bro. What you playing for? What you playing for? What you playing for? What y'all?
Get real lonely with the mic on, bro. Just want to talk to my friends.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Enter the Lab podcast 2024. It's me, your boy DT. We got Lady E, and we got your boy CHenry. See
Yes,
the background?
Yes, sir.
Oh man,
Yes, sir, man. It's still a celebration over here, man. It's still a celebration. Yes. Wonderful week, man. Happy Thursday to you guys and gals and ladies.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you, man. Oh boy. So let's go ahead and kick it off. So this week we just saw a outstanding playoffs between two games. Let's start off with the Michigan Wolverines. They pull off the big win against the Alabama Crimson Tide at the Rose Bowl, 27-20. Extreme game. Everybody found it boring, but that's just old classic Southern versus Midwest football. These two teams were both physical and provide the thunder. So I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was actually impressed with Michigan. I think a lot of people saw, some of the SEC bias with Alabama coming in stomping them, but Michigan was the one that was stomping them. You saw the line of scrimmage was very huge for both sides of the ball, especially on the first snap from the defense. I think that was the most impressive to me. Jesse Minter's group has done an outstanding job for the past couple of years, and they instilled their will on Alabama and let them know this is going to be a long day for them. Of course, Alabama made their adjustments to find some ways to move the ball on them, keep the game close. But ultimately, man, like this team, Michigan, they just have a strong will. They're very veteran heavy. They said they won't let this moment get away from them, so they went downfield, carried it to overtime with Blake Corum, a lot of the seniors on this team, and they willed themselves to victory. I was definitely impressed, man. Offensive line of scrimmage. JJ McCarthy played a solid game. Made some throws that I was very impressed by. Bama. I think the thing for Bama was definitely not only, and I hate to say it, we saw the comments by Milroe talking about switching positions and there. I don't want it to be shade, but it looked like first couple snaps, it looked like you might have to change position because that ball was putting you in the blender.
I'm gonna say this as the defending national champs. I'm gonna put that on there. I don't mind handing the torch off. I don't. I do think that my dogs should have had an opportunity, but it's okay though. We're not gonna say anything to it. But I'm gonna say this. And I told Alabama fans this. It's funny that they woke up for the SEC championship. That was their natty. But when it came down to it to play Michigan, I saw the Alabama team that I saw during the regular season.
Yeah,
that was their natty. The SEC championship, that was their natty. I saw the same Alabama team that I saw during the regular season. A lot of people came to me and was like, well, how did Georgia lose to Alabama? Georgia shot themselves in the foot. Now, I'm going to sit over there. I'm just going to push back just a little bit, DT. I'm not going to say that J.J. McCartney played a clean game because first playing out the gate, there was a mistake. Luckily, bruh man stepped out of bounds, or a lot of Michigan fans were finna be down in California ready to beat him before he even got on the bus, okay? Because at the end of the day, one thing that I did notice about Michigan, and that I always said about Michigan, is that when they first come out the gate and they come out the tunnel, they have the offense to dominate that first series. They have the offense to do that. It's just that for whatever reason, it's a mistake. They're slowing down. They're going 3 and out. They get to the middle of the field and they kind of like sit back and going about their business. And I told you, Henry, and I even told Phoenix, I'm like, y'all in these slow starts, y'all got to fix that. Because I said, if you do that in the playoffs, it's going to get the best hand of you. You got lucky on that first one. Now, there was a couple of other mistakes, and I'm just like, come on now, Michigan. Do not. Alabama thrives off of this. They thrive off of those mistakes. But as the game went on, those mistakes became limited. The defense have shown what the defense has been doing all year, and they came in and they shut down that Alabama offense. And then that gave the Michigan offense their opportunity to get out there and play clean football. So, again, shout out to Michigan because they weren't scared of Alabama. They weren't scared of Saban. That Michigan had Harbaugh and them had Saban over there on the sideline, mad and sweaty. Okay, because they didn't know what to do at that point. So again, I'm glad it went to overtime because we got to see another thriller at the Rose Bowl, and I love that. You know, my Dogs went into overtime against Oklahoma, but it was good to see a thriller like that in the Rose Bowl, especially for the first game of the college football playoffs. So, Henry, y'all deserve it, even though it's supposed to be us, but it's okay. I'm gonna pass the torch.
Well, we will happily and graciously accept the torch, if you will, to the championship game. First of all, I want to just say thank y'all for being so gracious, man, so gracious. You know what I'm saying, and congratulating us. I didn't know what to come in here and expect. And it's still a celebration on our end. I'm still very, very happy. We are definitely in the clouds when we have a game approaching on Monday. That's going to be a tough game. But I would just like to say, man, that was I don't know who said it was boring, man. That was one of the most exciting games I've seen in a long time. I want to first give a shout out to the committee, man, because both games were awesome. Both semifinal games were awesome. I think they definitely got it right. And again, the Michigan game, of course, I'm going to be biased, but I thought it was, a huge game. Two big brands, two teams who historically have been kind of, I don't want to say dominant, but two blue bloods, if you will, of the college football realm. Yeah. Alabama has been holding it down, basically dominating for, in the recent past, if you will. We had one in 97, but before that, it had been kind of, the 50s since we have, been in contention. So this was a big game for us. And our guys stepped up. I'm not going to lie. I was impressed with the defense. I had some questions going into this game. The defense stepped up big time. I thought that we had definitely closed the gap. And it started probably 4 years ago when we played Alabama to start the year in Jerry's World. And they showed us right away that they were superior, especially in the trenches. Not, so much in the skill positions where they still had a little bit of an edge. But the trenches were where they were definitely a lot better than us. And I think, from that point on, Harbaugh has really put a concerted effort into getting quality bodies, players who can play on both sides of the football, big physical bodies, man, guys who can hit, but also agile. And we kind of closed that gap. It was good to see. There were some questions, coming into this game. Will we be able to withstand the physicality of the game? Will we be able to withstand the speed? Because, recent history and past history, that has been kind of our challenges when we go outside of conference and play some of these more athletic teams. So a great game. I think Harbaugh and his staff did a great job countering, first of all, preparing these guys mentally and physically for the game. And then while we got into the game in terms of the play calling and everything, I think Sharon Wright Sharon Moore. I'm sorry, not Sharon Wright. Sharon Moore did a great job continuing his play calling, masterful job masking things against Alabama, using some of their strengths against them. They like to definitely, pursue the football, doing a lot of things with misdirection, getting them to kind of overstep and overplay things, and blew a couple coverages. So great game, big win, man. And I look forward, man, to playing those Huskies on Monday.
Ooh, speaking of them Huskies, I know we're gonna move on next to the next statement, but I just want to say this. That Huskies versus the Longhorns, I'm gonna say it took them down. But I just want to tell Texas, welcome to the SEC, because baby, it's gonna get worse than what the Huskies did to y'all.
Not just gonna be worse.
It's gonna be worse. It's gonna be worse because one, Alabama want that get back. That's number one. And then on top of that, y'all are coming off of this. Again, Texas said that they were back.
Before we transition to that game, real quick, I'm sorry. No, but you said a key word. You said Alabama gonna want that get back.
Oh yeah,
you said something key as well, DT, about Jalen Milroe and his performance this game. I thought coming into this game there was going to be a great chance that Jalen Milroe was going to be the best player on the field. 16 of 23.
Athlete. He's the best athlete on the
field. I thought he was going to be the best player, but now that I get a closer glimpse at him, and again, I think he was playing against a defense that I thought was pretty good, but I even have underrated them a little bit. But 16 of 23 for 116, 21 rushes for 63 yards. Is his passing game or his passing ability, his ability to read coverages, is he going to be able to take a big enough step to maintain, to maintain his him being the starter in Alabama? I saw a great podcast that I got to give a shout out to George Teague at Teague's Takes. He showed multiple times where Michigan was able to confuse him, and he also showed multiple times where there were hot reads or open receivers in short to intermediate areas where Jalen should have got the ball to. So with that being said, we talk about get back. Is Jalen going to be the guy to be the quarterback of this Alabama team next year?
I feel like moving forward, Saban has trust into him, but I'm just going to sit over here and say, which has always been the issue with his game, even throughout the course of the year. Yes, did he get and become a little bit better? Yeah, he looked better than from what they said, that's the South Florida game. From when he played, when they got benched, he looks way better from when he did that. But again, you guys did a smart thing. You already knew there was film out on your defenses, and your defense went in and gave him different looks. And we all know when it comes down to preparation with it, you're gonna teach the quarterback what to look for when it comes down to certain defensive schemes and how they're lining up against you at the line. The problem is you guys confused him because that wasn't the same schemes and the looks that y'all have been given all year. And that's where he struggles. He's not a passer. And that's where Georgia messed up with. Georgia messed up by trying to contain him, then lead with what you guys did was blitz him. You blitz him, get him off the mark. He's not going to throw the ball. He's going to run it. That's his second thing, because he's one of those ones, as we call, a first read and go. He's that first progression and go guy. He's not that one to sit there in the back of the pocket and go through his progressions. If the main progression that he wants is not there, it's basically I'm a tuck and I'm a run. Because even when we did our little watch along, everybody was calling out, watch him run to the right, watch him run to the left. Because again, they can already see they're about to come, they're about to blitz, he's going to run.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. There were definitely some things that just Milter and his group threw at him to make him, play from within the pocket or even rush his decision making. And I think that's why, if I'm not mistaken, he only had like one pass over 20 yards. So a lot of them was thinking, a lot of them forcing to make the check down. So coming next year, man, Milroe, he's a talented player, but I think that's the part of his development that has to, get there in order to overcome some of the deficiencies. It's not just him as well. I think some of the play calling for Bama could have been better, especially, but it's going to be interesting to see for the spring game in the spring for Alabama to see does Saban wants to go and reopen the competition for that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, but this is what happens too. And Alabama does this quite frequently. This is what happens when you switch an offensive coordinator every year.
Yeah,
this is what happens. You don't have the stability as an OC to get it. I mean, Georgia started off slow too with Bobo coming in, and I think that was just because of, again, you got a new quarterback, you got a new wide receiver group, some of the offensive linemen on there are new, and then you have it's not the same scheme as what Tom Monkey was running, but it's similarities, and now you got to get everybody accustomed to it. So and I think that's where Saban has to really find the consistency, is try to find that OC that's going to be consistent. Now, who's to say that from year one of this year to year two that we're not gonna see anything different? We don't know, like you said, into the spring game. But again, Bill O'Brien might have been on something. I'm just saying, I ain't no hater. Bill must have been on to something, but I'm not gonna say anything else. Just gonna sit my crush over here.
Speaking of that crush, we can go back to that those Texas boys in that orange. So,
that's an ugly orange.
Oh, yeah, so Sugar Bowl was definitely it lived up to the expectations. Of some points were there, some big shots. We saw some offense in that game. Michael Penix, he does his thing. He's been doing that for the past 2 years at Washington. And I guess now that's really the biggest stage, I believe, for him, for the world to see. And he showed out 430 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And, Washington in that special wide receiver core, they did their thing against a very subpar Texas secondary. Now, I was concerned a little bit because they were kicking field goals in the fourth quarter. I said, okay, Texas might come back. I'm not saying they back, but they were coming back. Game management was a little to me in the last couple of minutes, but overall, I was impressed with Washington. I felt like the matchup was in their favor. Run game wise, no. Texas defensive line was definitely good. You got a couple of NFL guys on that front seven, but I felt like the secondary was the main point that Washington was going to do majority of their damage. So what are y'all instant reactions to that Washington 37-31 win over the Texas Longhorns in the Sugar Bowl?
I just want to say these games were close. These games were very close. One, I would say this. Again, I have to put emphasis on it just because I lived out in Big 12 country for a little bit. Texas defense in that front seven may be stout, but people got to realize that's still a Big 12 defense. They don't go after the physical corners for whatever reason. I don't know why they don't do that. And I think that's what's gonna, like, them transition into the SEC. Like, y'all are gonna have to kind of do better in that regard, because you got some quarterbacks in the SEC that can attack you vertically. And that's exactly what Washington did. They attacked them vertically. And I think Penix showed that arm strength. He showed why he was. He showed that accuracy. I mean, this man was making dart passes with 3 guys covering one, like in tight windows. So when we kind of think about it, and I do agree. I don't want to say, I think Stark, and I'm just being honest, I think Stark nutted up a little bit. I think he got scared. And he should have remained calm. I think he kind of nutted up a little bit when it came down there, because he should have saw some things on that defensive side that could have got them back into that game. And then on the last play of the game, I feel bad for A.D. Mitchell, because, he's still a Bulldog at heart. But I feel bad for A.D. Mitchell because he has hands. He can catch. I just feel like Ewers just couldn't get it to him.
That was bad.
It was just a bad throw. Just couldn't get it to him. And it's just, again, Texas still, in my honest opinion, has a lot of things that they still have to work through. In all regards, like the defense needs to be boosted up just a little bit because, again, I don't feel like the offensive line, and even though they won, I just don't feel like the offensive line for Washington was as strong as some people were making it seem. In my honest opinion, because they kind of had Penix running a little bit. They, especially close to that end, they were starting to, you know, get in the backfield and affect him when it came down to throwing. You know, so I will say that. I will say that. But at the end of the day, Texas is not back yet. I'm sorry. Texas is not. They made it good. I mean, after all those years, their last Big 12 championship.
Have you already developed a rivalry with Texas? Have you already developed
I can't
distaste and this type of discernment, some type of little issue with Texas?
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't like the state of Texas, period. Okay. You know, but I lived in Oklahoma.
Disclaimer out there. Let us know. Let us know.
I lived in Oklahoma for a little bit because my dad was military. So unfortunately, I had to live in Oklahoma. So you had three choices. You were either cheering for Oklahoma State, OU, or the Dallas Cowboys. I cheered for OU. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch OU football. So every time they played Texas, it was hook them down. Never liked them. never had anything good to say about Texas. So
I sensed something like that.
Yeah, it's just never. When they had it, I will always cheer for Oklahoma, even though now Oklahoma's coming into the SEC, so I'm not cheering for them. But I did have respect for Bob Stoops for like the longest. So again, I'm just boo Texas. But if everybody realized, Texas hasn't won the Big 12 since 2009. That was my grad year. Okay, Oklahoma has been running that division since 2009. So Texas finally broke one instead of Oklahoma. So they're still not back yet. They're still not back.
I thought it was a very, very, very much entertaining game. There was definitely a lot of NFL talent out there. I was kind of surprised by the performance of Xavier Worthy. I expected a little bit more out of him in this game. Very, very quiet game. I think he had like only 2 catches for 45 yards. Texas, I think, you know what? Again, very, very stout in the front four. Was able to, get Penix off his spot, but he was able just to still make plays, extended plays with his feet, showed extreme touch and accuracy. We know the receiving core that he's working with and is definitely talented. I mean, those guys are better than some NFL tandems right now. So great effort by them. I think Texas really shot themselves in the foot. Definitely couldn't cover those boys. But the 2 turnovers, they were able to run the football effectively, but the young running backs turned the ball over twice in that game. And I think Sarkisian kind of went away from it a little bit too early and went a little too pass heavy a little bit. And again, Ewers had a solid game, but he wasn't special. And with your boy out there, 29 or 38 or 35 or whatever it was for 430, they needed a little bit more of a special performance from somebody. And again, I think they ran the ball. They had like 180 yards rushing, which, I'm licking my chops at that a little bit on only 28 carries. So they were getting some chunk plays in the run game, but those guys kept putting the ball on the ground. And I think that really put Texas in a tough spot.
Yep. No, their run game was pretty impressive. I will give that to Texas. Their run game was pretty impressive.
They needed a little bit more to keep that defense off the field.
But I mean, the thing about it is, to be honest with you, I haven't seen a good defense like that in a long time from a Pac-12 team, even though we know the Pac-12 is going away. But you really haven't seen a good defense. Like, I'll be honest with you, the Pac-12 was one of the best conferences out in college football this past year. And to see a team like Washington be complete all the way around. I mean, like I said, again, you have the offense, you have the defense. You're basically a complete team all the way around. And that's something that you really don't expect from the Pac-12. So I will give that to Washington after a while. Those boys, even though they was getting ran on a little bit by Texas, they were stopping in the most critical times of that run game. Like you said, they put the ball on the ground, and that was legitimately caused by that defense. So again, I'm shots out to Washington though, because like I said, the last year of the Pac-12 before they move into the Big Ten, they're showing they belong. So Henry, be ready because Washington, once they find out who their quarterback is, Washington coming.
Yeah, I feel good about it. I think they're an impressive team. I think when you look at them offensively, very, very, balanced. I don't know what the health situation is going to be with Dylan Johnson. But again, he's a 1,100 yard back, 14 touchdowns. Didn't have the most impressive game. He left with injury, but I think it was 21 carries for like 49 yards. But did have 2 rushing touchdowns in this game. So when they got close, they gave him the football. So I'm hearing that he's going to play. You put that along with Rome Odunze and Jalen Polk. And you've got a potent offense with Michael Penix, who definitely looks like a first-round quarterback. So it's going to be a problem. I will say, again, after what we just saw against Alabama, I'm confident, but I'm still worried a little bit. Can Will Johnson answer the bell again against another top-notch wide receiver? Will some of our other defensive backs be able to step up? Because again, it's just not a team with a singular threat outside. We got a couple of guys out there, so some of those guys are going to have to step up and make some plays. And again, we talk about that offensive line. They won the Joe Moore Award, the best offensive line in America. They only given up 11 sacks all year. So I'm thinking that we need to get – I got a magic number of 3. We need to get them down at least 3 times. You know what I'm saying? And I think if we do that and put consistent pressure on them as well, maybe if we don't get them to 3 times, get to him 3 times, but again, get him off his spot, get him off his square a little bit. We can have some success, but we need to get to him. We need to get to him and get to him quick because he doesn't hold the ball very long. He's got a quick release, and those guys can make plays either down the field or they can take a 5-yard pass and turn it into a 60-yard pass. So, and what's my man's name? Is Giles Jackson still there?
Yeah, Giles Jackson there.
Yeah. So he has some insight into Michigan football because he started here at Michigan for I believe 1 or 2 years before he went out to Washington. So. I think he plays on special teams, so we got to watch him in the special teams game. And our special teams stunk last game, so we got to tighten some shit up there for sure because we was really loose. To be honest with you, if it was anybody else's besides Harbaugh's son, he may have been fired come Tuesday because that was terrible.
No, I would say this. I didn't like the fact that y'all switched. I think it was the punt returner or the kick returner when y'all so that ball close by the end zone.
So the gentleman Thaw is who muffed the last one. He was probably our primary punt returner all the way up until maybe the Penn State game, maybe Ohio State. Don't get me wrong. Maybe Maryland. They tried out Samaj, who's a highly rated freshman from right here in the Detroit area, West Bloomfield. We put him back there against I believe against Maryland for the first time, to kind of see him, see what he can do back there. And then he had to return against Iowa in the championship game. But he's been kind of limited in terms of how much experience he's had returning punts. So I think after, he had a muff for sure that we lost for sure. And then he had also a drop pass went right through his hands early in that game. And I just think the moment was a little bit big. He ended up having a couple other catches, so he did make an impact for us. But the moment was a little bit big. And after there was another punt where he did not touch it. But it's like, dude, you were inside the 10, you let it hit, but you're right next to it. So it could take a weird bounce and hit you. And next thing you know, we're in bad position again. Like, get away from the ball. So I think at that point, Harbaugh was kind of like, let me get the safe guy, the quote-unquote safe guy, the hands guy, because basically Thaw had been, I don't know how many returns he's had this year, but I would be shocked if it was more than 10. He was basically back there just to catch the football. And then we get him back there, but that's the first time he's been out there. It's 2 minutes left or 3 minutes left in the game, however long it is. And we throw him out there and he muffed it. But, hey, he picked it up, stayed in bounds, stayed in the field of play, and held on to it because he got rocked too. He got rocked. So he's like a folk hero right now.
Yeah, because at that point, I'm just like, bro, your feet's supposed to be on the 10. If it go over your head, let it go over your head.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, dang, I know Michigan ain't finna sit over here and get his game away like that. Like, I know they not finna get a game away like that.
We've already dribbled a snap back to the kicker, and we already missed the kick. So it was in the muff. It already happened. So at that point, I'm thinking like somebody is throwing the game at that point.
I mean, like I said, it was one thing I will give credit to Alabama and Nick Saban is when they have another team making those mistakes, or another team makes those mistakes, they really capitalize off of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that y'all didn't even have to go into overtime if it wasn't for that, you know?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that. So that's just how I feel about it. But we'll see. Next Monday, it's gonna be
a good show. Game will be on 8 o'clock on ESPN. So let's talk about some stocks up and stock down for a couple of these prospects that we saw that were playing this game. I'll go ahead and start first. Stock up to me. I think it's pretty obvious. The talk of Twitterverse is Michael Penix. His stock definitely gone up, but it's definitely will probably go up because now next Monday he's going to go up against an NFL style defense. And, he played in Big Ten, so he's very familiar with Michigan. But this Michigan team is a little bit different schematically from what he faced before. So I can't wait for that matchup. The wide receivers against Michigan corners, Will Johnson. He has a chance.
It's going to be very evenly matched. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be very evenly matched.
Now, stock down. I gotta go back to the Michigan versus Bama game. I think JC Latham took a hit a little bit, man. I was watching him solely based on talks about the offensive lines and coming from the NFL draft. There was definitely some things I wish he could have done a little bit better. I'll probably have to go back and watch again because overall the O line for Bama that was a problem for them overall. But I felt like, he was the one that sticks out because he was the leader of the team, and some bending issues and stuff like that. I always ask that question with a lot of the Bama fans, when they transition to the NFL, like what are some things that they struggle at? You see Evan Neal for the Giants. He has struggled for the last 2 years in the NFL. So I'm going to go back and watch it, but I was not impressed with JC Latham. I think that took a little hit and stop.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with the Penix because that had not Georgia's Twitter. That had Falcon Twitter saying Penix ATL. That had them really. It was trending. It was legitimately trending. That's how bad it was. It was trending. So I would have to say the person that went down for me, because of this class being so deep, and this is not a knock at his performance. I just don't feel like he's in the middle at this point, and I think he has to have a true. I don't want to say spot free performance, but he has to have a clean performance, and that's JJ. I feel with the way these quarterbacks are coming out this year, you got your Caleb Williams. Penix is now showing out. You still got your Jaden Daniels out there. You got your Drake Mays. Bo Nix did a good performance, even though a lot of people still have question marks at Bo Nix. I feel right now the question marks are at Bo Nix, and I think that it's going to start having that conversation with JJ here in a little bit. I again, this is not a knock on his performance of what he did, because he came through and did what he needed to do to get his team the W, but there's still some question marks with him, and I feel like he's kind of like in the middle of the pack when it comes down, since the quarterback class is this deep.
Mm-hmm. So I agree with both of you. I think, in terms of Penix, I think for the first time, I don't want to say for the first time, but I think with all eyes being on him, people got a chance to really see what he can do against a team that they, kind of respected coming into this game. A lot of folks did not give a lot of respect to the Pac-12 conference. And like you said, Lady E, this was one of the best years for them, period, this year. And not just for them. They were one of the best conferences out here from top to bottom. If you, stack them up against anyone, I would say that they were better than the ACC for sure. And very, this year were very, very comparable to the Big Ten as well as the SEC. So I think he put up, he did basically what he's done all year, except for maybe the exception of 1 or 2 games. I think, when you look at talent evaluators, they like what he did. They like what he brings to the table. but it's just that, they've only seen it for, 1.5, 2 years, if you will. And he has the injury concern. So I think that has kind of knocked him down. But also, I think that, you look at Caleb Williams from last year, he doesn't look like Caleb Williams from 2023. So I think there's some questions about him. There's some character questions about him. There's some questions about his size. Jaden Daniels, I like him a lot. I've liked him since he was starting as a freshman at Arizona State. But there's some questions about his game. Drake May, we've seen him. Some people drool over his game. Some people I just kind of like are ho-hum, kind of like myself about his game. So I think that there are a lot of questions in this quarterback class. I don't think there's any sure thing. I don't think there's any generational talents at this point in time. I may be wrong, but I think it's going to be key for talent evaluators to really, really, really dig in deep and figure out who's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts, and who's going to be the next Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, and Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody's not going to hit. We ain't had a class like Marino and them in a very, very long time. There will be misses at that quarterback spot. You just better hope that you don't invest in one of those guys. But I said, stock up. I'm going to go with the guy from Washington, the defensive end. There's not many defensive super standouts on their team. Yeah. I'm going to go with the Braylon Trice kid, man. The guy is putting pressure on the quarterback. Had 2 sacks in that Texas game. Really, really was able to be disruptive in that game. So I'm going him stock up. Stock down, man, to everybody from Florida State who didn't play in their game, who didn't take that game seriously. People said 24 people opted out. 24 people ain't getting drafted by the NFL next year, I don't believe. So I don't think it was appropriate for everyone to, sit out that game. And I think that may affect some of them negatively. I think, when you're Florida State, who's, to me, back on the scene, they had a great year. And to me, you should be trying to build that legacy up a little bit, build that up, and use it as a springboard, if you will, into next year. Get your recruits fired up, get your teams, the guys who are coming back fired up for being possibly one of the top 10 teams next year and trying to build on this legacy, not just say, oh, this was our year, we didn't get in, so screw it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely had a definite taste of we ain't never been here before. So stock down for all them.
I'm going to speak on that before we move on. I just want to sit over and say that because I got a lot of backlash on Twitter with people trying to, get on Georgia fans for celebrating. I'm like, hey, Georgia played who was on the field. Unfortunately, Georgia had to play the backups. They had to pay the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th string, whoever. That's not to say that Georgia should have set their starters to match up with Florida State. The thing is, when you have a team, and I'm going to start like this, like you said, that they didn't get in, they went. I'm going to start with the coach. I'm blaming Mike on this. You are the head coach of the Florida State Seminoles, okay? You go get them boys, especially the ones that can leave and go to NFL draft. Now, I heard from some Florida State fans that they went to the transfer portal. Some of these guys weren't there, that they were recruited. These were all people that he got over the course of his tenure. I get that, and I understand that. But you as the head coach, talk to them people. Talk to them. 13-0. We have a chance to beat the back-to-back national champions. Let's go out there and let's do this one more time. Because now you got in the record books that's not going to be erased that Georgia beat you by one of the biggest margin in not at the Orange Bowl history, but the biggest margin in bowl history. Okay, they got you by 60 points. And then now everybody is looking at Florida State. This is why the committee didn't put y'all in, because they knew y'all can do something like this. Like, don't give anybody else the question, because now going into the next season, it's going to be questions. It's going to be questions. Nobody's not going to take it. Nobody's not going to take y'all serious. Nobody. Mm-hmm. And like you said, them 24, you got to think the backup quarterback went into the portal. He went into the portal. Yeah, like, dude, this is your chance to to probably possible shoot yourself up into the starting quarterback next year. What are you doing?
Yeah, that was nasty.
I mean, it's crazy because we talk about. I just saw something come across my ticker about Ohio State getting their quarterback, Will Howard from Kansas State. Now maybe it's a situation where they're in the portal actively recruiting different guys. telling different guys the job is theirs, or they're not satisfied with their starter, kind of like the situation with McCord. He was kind of told early on he's going to have to compete for his job, and then they went out and started recruiting, not just recruiting freshmen, but recruiting guys in the portal that can push buttons on some of these guys and get these guys out the door. But with that being said, I just really feel like Florida State, if you are who you say you are, even if your pro-ready players opt out, because it's not, a championship, that's cool. Let's say 7 to 10, 12 players opt out. If you are who you say you are, and you guys have been recruiting like crazy, then again, play the game. Why is it that you have 10 or 12 guys in the portal? If your program is so nice and the culture is so great, why aren't these guys accompanying you to the bowl? We had 3 guys jump into the portal. 2 of them were able to play in the bowl, accompany the team to the bowl. So it's like it's not over with. Your scholarship is not cut off. You continue the process, and again, you can possibly get some more film on tape. I'm sorry, some more plays on film, and possibly send to some of these prospective schools. So and I don't know, maybe it's some schools may say, hey, once you jump in the portal, we don't want you here no more. If you're not part of the what we're trying to do, we don't want you in the locker room. I mean, that could have been an edict as well, but I've seen different schools do it different ways, and that just didn't rub me the right way. Especially as much as you've cried about, not cried, you had a legitimate gripe, about why they weren't included.
They cried. They were still crying.
and you had a chance to really put yourself on the map and set yourself up for next year. How many times did we hear? I was on a podcast. My boy, shout out to Real. He's talking about, man, how did Georgia get left out? They didn't win the championship in 3 years.
It's not Chick-fil-A.
Oh, I'm
sorry. I'm sorry. I thought I was
You got me confused. Now you're making me hungry. But yeah,
my bad.
So he was looking at the situation as like, Georgia's on this 3-year run. Well, I'm like, well, they just lost the last game they played. So I mean, I can see how they may fall out of there. But some people look at it from a year-to-year situation, and people were going to look at Florida State getting a big win over a very, very, very talented Georgia team. If that were to happen, leading into this year, they can go through their subpar ACC schedule, maybe get a couple good wins, end up 13-0. The team's going to remember, well, this is pretty much the same team that beat Georgia last year in that bowl game, and that gives them the benefit of doubt. But now you get blew out by 60. That's all we're going to remember. We're going to forget about. We're going to know it's a couple guys who are going to go to the pros and then play, but we're going to forget about the so-called folks who were protesting, if you will. So bad look for them.
Yeah, it is definitely bad look. Now, I'm going to say this. The landscape has truly changed when we get ready for these bowl games that we used to love, used to get excited for on any type of day these games come on. But now with NILs, with transfer portal boosting, kids leaving automatically after 1 year and not getting the opportunity competing, or trying to save their draft stock because they don't want these unfortunate injuries to mess with lifetime abundance of funds that will come their way. When you have these opportunities, though, I think that's where the thing kind of trickles on. I mean, Ohio State, majority of their guys played with the exception of Marvin Harrison Jr. I just think, for you to show the world that, hey, the committee made a mistake, you had an opportunity to go against a 2-time defending champion from the SEC, show out, and find a way to either make the game close or get a victory. Because if you make it close with your third-string quarterback, that changes perspective. That changes what the media thinks. It's like, oh, shoot, they lost by 3 or 2 points to Georgia. Maybe we should have put them in. Not get both race or get your panties pulled up. But them guys had to be out there for the team, and I think that's where it's coming in. But I know people are going to be talking about the 12-team playoff. That's going to change things. But me personally, I don't know. Like, I think Florida State had an opportunity to forecast the changes that this program has went through after Jimbo Fisher had left, and they had them down years, and show what Mike Gravel has done a great job at for the past couple of years.
To be honest, I think that really, I mean, besides throwing a different name on this thing and trying to up the marketing dollars, you throw a different name on it, now the price goes up, right? If it's instead of it's 2 bowl games in the college playoff, now it's 6 bowl games, and we got 6 slots to now sell to these marketers. Now we got, the price of a regular bowl during the Blue Bonnet Bowl was 1 apple, but the college football price for the college football playoff price is 3 apples, and now we got six more slots so we can charge you 3 apples for. That's what this really is about. I think it's going to be beneficial for these teams, because guys, with the promise of playing for a championship, guys I think are going to play. More guys are going to play. The guys who may be at the super top and feel like their team don't really have a shot, they may not play, but that's also going to be a bad look for them going into the NFL, because folks want to know that you're going to be willing to compete, go above and beyond, you know what I'm saying, for your team if there's a championship on the line. So I think we are going to see guys play, and I think the quality of the games are definitely going to go up because those guys play. But with that being said, we saw 4 very, very good teams this past Monday. To be honest with you, maybe if Florida State was at 100%, they would probably be in the mix. I would have thrown possibly an Ohio State and an Oregon, and then after that, I think that there is a steep fall off. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see 12 teams out here, but really 5 or 6 teams are going to really, really matter. And we still gonna have the Cotton Bowl and the Blue Bonnet Bowl and all these other bowls, but they're just gonna be a few of them gonna be wrapped up in these college football playoff games. That's all. Yeah, that Penn State Ole Miss game gonna be mixed in there somewhere.
Oh man! And one thing I just want to say this before we move on. I did not know Penn State had the #1 defense in college football, and it didn't even look like it. Just want to say that. All right, we can move. I will say
this, and this is kind of, and I try to keep things in perspective with my Michigan defense, and this is kind of why I was like, I was surprised by the performance that they had this past week, because a lot of teams in the Big Ten don't really have explosive offenses, though. So, you look at the whole West, we're talking about Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, things like that. So everybody in the West is kind of mid to not really that solid offensively anyway. And then on the East, you're talking about Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, who time to time, they just haven't had a quarterback over there, but sometimes they try to open it up. They're not really efficient with it, and sometimes they try to play bully ball. They're not.
Maryland has explosive offense.
They do, but they don't have the explosive players. That's the problem. They don't have the guys. Yeah. They got the X's and O's, but they don't have the guys. So you don't really see those explosive offenses. So when you get an offense that's very multifaceted, kind of like this Washington game, a team that can challenge you at the quarterback, at the running back, 2 or 3 different receivers, not just 1, maybe 2. I have a little bit of pause there, but we'll see how it goes this week. So to your point, I'm not surprised that they're #1. They do a pretty good job defensively. They held us to 13 points, 17 points, 20 points, whatever it was in that game. So they do a pretty good job, man. Franklin just need a quarterback over there and an OC.
Yeah. He don't even throw to his wide receivers. So golly. Kept screaming the whole game like, bro, throw to Lambert. I mean, throwing him on the field, cool, but this ain't 1960s, bro. Like, come on, man.
Let me ask you guys this, because both of your teams could possibly be in the quarterback race again this year in the draft. Is there somebody who stands out? I'm hearing a lot of the Caleb talk. I got some questions, but is there some, is 1 or 2 guys who stand out, or do you look at all those guys kind of in one group?
Well, I'm gonna go first.
You go first, because y'all got the higher pick.
Yeah. So obviously we talk about the Caleb Williams, the hometown kid from DC. Drake May, he's someone that played with Sam Howell. Everybody talks about the next Justin Herbert. I mean, I'm like you. It's not that I don't like him. I do like him, but it's just Sam Howell could make the same throws, respectfully. Like maybe not as much, maybe not as much over the middle, but Sam Howell, I've seen Sam Howell make those throws. So I really don't see the difference other than him being the prototypical size at the quarterback position. Michael Penix, we watched him, you and I, we watched him at Indiana. We knew he could sling the ball. Jaden Daniels, I liked him as well when he was coming at ASU. He transferred to LSU. Everybody's going to talk about, okay, the talent around him boosted his stocks and stuff, but he played with them guys the first year when he got to LSU. They didn't have them stats. So that tells me they had to grow within that offense as well. So he took time to push himself. Now, the question about the weight and stuff, I'm going to throw a name that nobody ain't talking about. He just put his name in the NFL draft, and that's my guy, Cameron Ward. Cameron Ward is somebody that intrigues me because he had an opportunity to go to Miami or wherever in the college teams that he wanted to, but he decided to put his name
I
in
heard
the
he
draft.
was going to Ohio State. That's what I heard too.
I no comment. No comment. But this guy clearly he's very talented. He played at a lower level in Incarnate Word, 47 touchdowns, 10 picks, then come to Washington State. He's not as elusive as a Caleb Williams, but he can create when chaos is happening, and his arm is very live, and he can make those NFL throws that I've seen at Washington State. I just think the exposure for him because he's at Washington State. I can't wait for his stock to see how he's going to grow during this process, man. That's a guy that I like ideally. Now, I'm telling Washington to go draft him. I mean, that's up to the coaching staff, but that's definitely someone I would see on a late day 3 or depending on how his stock going to rise, how he's going to play out. I like his skill set. I think he's played enough football. He's only 21 years old. So everybody need to keep an eye on Cam Ward.
Yeah, I've seen him a couple of times. When his name first hit the portal, everybody's antennas kind of went up, and that's why I heard that Ohio State was very much interested. I heard a couple of other big time programs were interested. So I looked him up a little bit, and he definitely looks a little bit of Kyler Murray-ish to me. I don't know how big he is. They say he's 6'2". I don't know. But with that being said, I think he definitely is a good player. Kind of in that Kyler Murray, slightly I don't want to say Russell Wilson type kind of makeup, but he does have again, like you said, a lively arm, and he is athletic. So I think he's a guy who can definitely raise up the charts. I'm just trying to see, who's going to do what in this pre-draft process, because we know guys really get the boost when they're just out there throwing against nobody and then shorts. So to your point, Lady E, about JJ, I think JJ should definitely probably come back to school, for maybe one more year. I don't know if that's me being selfish and thinking out the prospects of this team next year with him here. But those last 3 or 4 games before this game, he definitely had some struggles. There was some talk about him possibly being injured and things of that sort. But I think that what he can possibly do during the pre-draft process is increase his stock. For one, they're going to love his arm. He can make all the throws. He has the size. I think he has just enough athleticism for them to like. He's shown toughness. He's shown leadership. He's played in mostly a pro-style offense for 3 years. He's won a lot of games. He's played under center. If he has one of those days like Zach Wilson out there on his pro day, I can see him definitely becoming a first-round pick. And again, we always see the quarterbacks kind of get that boost before the draft. Penix, they're talking about him 2nd and 3rd round. I knew for unless something happens, unless if he pops up at the combine and he don't have an ACL no more, I doubt very seriously he gets out of the 1st round. But I can see JJ slipping in there. If he depends on what his game is going to be like against Washington, and again, it depends on how folks kind of see him. But I can see him possibly being that 1st round quarterback. But again, to your point, I think he definitely needs a little bit more seasoning and will probably be one of the top picks, if not the top quarterback in next year's class. I don't know exactly who's going to be coming back next year, but he's up there.
I'm just going to sit over here and say that my Falcons are looking at any and everybody.
Any and everybody?
Look, any and everybody. As long as they ain't no JJ McCartney or no Bo Nix, they looking at any and everybody.
What's wrong with Bo Nix? Why everybody talking bad about Bo Nix?
They're saying Bo Nix is not that dude. They're saying, I know, you know Zay. I don't know, DT, you know Zay too. Shout out to Zay. He basically made a good point. There might not be an offense that is out there for Bo Nix. That's similar to kind of what he played at Oregon. There might not be a team that can give him that. And that's the scary part about it.
What they give him?
You don't think he can't play in a Shanahan-like system?
I be honest with you, watching Bo Nix from Auburn days to the Bo Nix in Oregon days, there is a it's a big one. But I think they played to his strength. To me, Bo Nix is not that guy under pressure. He has to come out and he has to be leading. You can't, he's not that play from behind quarterback. He's not a play from behind quarterback. I'm sorry. He's not. As we've seen when they played Washington.
So
twice.
What are you saying? I need you to let me know what you said. So he can't pass from behind. What can he do?
For me, is he can throw. I'm not gonna say that he cannot throw. He can throw, but I feel like he reminds me of, and I don't want to throw this out there, but he reminds me of Matt Ryan. If Matt Ryan is down, he's throwing those. Matt
Ryan was a number 1 pick. What you talking about?
Hey, he was.
Matt Ryan was an MVP of this league.
I mean, that was with Kyle Shanahan.
Hey, to that point,
that's what DT just said. Give him to Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, I think he'll do it. But to that point, though, and this is from a Carolina fan. You might want to add him one day, but to me, when he talks to me about Matt Ryan, he says, okay, he won the MVP, but he was never considered at the time one of the best quarterbacks, like top 5 or so. I don't know. That's another conversation for another day. But to your point, I definitely understand why Matt Ryan, precision high passing, going to the stick, anticipation. I think he'll fit in the Shanahan, Kevin Stefanski type system.
I mean, but see, the thing about it is, I have to really go back and watch Bo Nix because, again, when he played Georgia, no, it's not. It's not even the Auburn thing because I blame that on Gus Malzahn. I think Gus Malzahn just lost his touch before they decided to fire him. To be honest with you, but if you go back, and really do go watch Auburn, when Bo Nix gets up, he gets up, and he can do things. He makes smart plays. He knows how to use his legs. Give him the right team. He can make the plays that he wants. The issue that I have with him is, do not let him get down. When he gets down, the anticipation throws are not there.
Is he mistake prone?
I feel like he's more mistake prone when that happens. I really do. I feel like he rushed the throws. The throws are like it just something is not clicking when he's there. And when you're transitioning to the NFL, you're not always gonna have the lead. You know, you might come out and have 3 and outs back to back, and the other team goes and score 14. Now you're down 14-0. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like the poise is there for Bo. Like, I just don't feel like that. And I feel like there's still some development that he can go through to be able to be that calm quarterback in the pocket. Because I feel like he can make it, but I just don't feel like right now when we're looking at that, like I said, he's not at the top of the pack. He's in the middle, close to the end of the pack when it comes down to quarterback. He could be literally a 2nd-round draft pick. Seriously. I just feel like a lot of people are high on him because they are seeing that when it comes down to Bo Nix.
Can we get some clarification from Deuce? If who goes in the top 15, he wants to go on the podcast.
You know who he's talking.
No, I don't. Who?
Master P. He talking about Michael Penix.
Hey man, listen, y'all man be so quick with these nicknames, dog. Oh my God, Master P.
Hey, Deuce on him all of last year. I will give Deuce.
So are you? Is he saying he don't think he going top 15?
No, he's saying if he goes top 15, let him open up your podcast that you tag me almost every Thursday, every now and then. Your podcast and boost the Master P theme music.
So Deuce want to open up and talk about Master P because that's his guy. Yeah. Oh, for sure. That's a no-brainer. No brainer.
Look, I'm gonna just say this. Penix told the world that he's as African Americans. Hey, free my dog.
Free my dogs. Purple do-rag too. Yeah.
With the purple do-rag on.
So let me ask y'all real quick because I didn't get you guys as a prediction on this game on Monday. What y'all see happening?
I'm not gonna tell you.
What you mean? We're not gonna see each other before the game.
I know. I'll tell you the day of the game. Who I got. look, here we try to I'm gonna let them nerves boil, honey.
The people want to know.
The people want to know.
The people want to know.
Who the people, DT? Who the people?
I don't know who people he's talking about.
The people who we tweet for. The people who we pie for.
Hey, look, I'm gonna be
all
honest.
17 of them, baby. For them.
I'm gonna be completely honest. First off instinct, I was like, yeah, Washington might win it all. But I just kept thinking to myself, I said, Michigan has the ability to match up with these guys. So I feel like both of these teams are even. I think obviously it comes down to the trenches. It comes out of the trenches, and can y'all get to Michael Penix and bring him down? Because he was showing pocket evasiveness and still slinging the pill 40 to 20 yards downfield.
And we know that accuracy is there.
Yeah. So I could definitely see y'all be able to y'all could control the line of scrimmage at the time of possession. I think for me is this, and this is my thing, and everybody gets on me. We were talking about JJ McCarthy in the chat and stuff like that. I like his God-given talent. I just feel like for Michigan, when I saw him played against TCU, take away the interceptions, that's the JJ McCarthy that I need. That's the JJ McCarthy I need.
I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that JJ is going to be the winner or the death of y'all. I'm going to say that. I'm not
trying to say throw for 400 yards against Michael Penix, but y'all gonna be running the ball.
Stat wise, that was a cool JJ. It was exciting, whatever, you know what I'm saying. But we lost the game. It was a 51-49 game. I prefer the JJ we saw the other day. Play within yourself, do exactly what we need to do to win. The JJ that we saw beat Ohio State, he only made one real awesome throw between two guys, but that's all we needed him to do. If we can keep the game within itself and keep him within himself, then I'm more comfortable there. I don't want to say I don't want JJ to be special, but I don't want him to have to be special. We've got the defense, we've got the offensive line, we've got the running back. If he can just do what we need to do. One thing that was key between him and Milroe in that game, JJ always knew what was needed. He knew where his hot guy, he knew the coverage, he knew where his hot guy was, he knew when to get rid of the football. He was clutch, and that's what I need him to be, just to be that clutch quarterback. If he got to be special, that's great too. That's cool. We'll take that too. But just be clutch. Just be, do what you do what we need you to do. But I hear you though. That was a nice JJ though. That 300-something yards. But again, though, we was down. We was running and gunning, baby. We was running and gunning, and the defense had to do their job. So I'm rolling with my boy.
I feel like the defense is going to come to play. They're going to be licking their chops to try to go up against the best offensive line in the country. That's what they were voted on. So I really believe that your defense is really going to come to play. Like I said, is the quarterback play. That's where the concern is going to come. If you can get the same JJ McCartney that, like you said, against Ohio State, against Alabama, if he can limit the mistakes and limit the turnovers, then again, because like I said, what Washington is going to try to make and force him do is going to turn that ball over. Like they can be ran on. So I know y'all going to run the ball because they can be ran on, and that got shown by Texas. So again, y'all just have to play a clean game. No slow starts.
I'm hoping for fast starts. I'm hoping. Last time Blake saw them boys, he got off for 67 yards in the first play of the game. So I'm hoping for something like that again. That's a couple of years ago, but we'll see. We'll see. But again, though, this is going to be big, man. I forgot to say, this is the end of the Pac-12. Great year for them. This is probably, us in Big Ten country and us in Pac-12 country. We're looking at this probably as the last hurrah. The last iteration, if you will, of the Rose Bowl, a Big Ten versus a Pac-12 team. And then you got, some of the Big Ten execs who have to be smiling right now because they got one team from the old guard, one team from the new guard representing themselves in the national championship. So this is kind of like a Big Ten premiere, if you will. And who knows what type of rivalry. Huh?
Look, with a Big Ten yawn.
And what type of rivalry can kind of be spawned from this game? Their first game, they're not in the Big Ten, but their game, in the national championship game, leading to the Big Ten. So it's a lot of things going on, man. Hey, we ready over here, baby. We ready.
But I ain't gonna lie to you. I just seen Oklahoma posted their pictures with the SEC logo on the jersey. It took me a while to get used to it. I was like, what?
Oh
yeah.
Y'all better hope ain't no new sheriffs in town down there.
It ain't no new sheriffs in town.
I better hope ain't no new sheriffs in town. You know what I'm saying?
We good.
You know what I'm saying?
We ain't scared of no.
They might have brought in some dog catchers. I seen what Debo was trying to do to that dog on that sideline.
Mm-hmm. Bebo looks good on my plate, so he tacked my dog.
I'm gonna have on that plate. Not on that plate.
On the plate. Longhorn steak is amazing. Chef kiss.
Oh my God!
We gotta move on. Here lies Bebo, and he is good.
Oh my God, we gotta move on. Let's go to the NFL. I got one big topic for the NFL I want to talk about. So Lamar Jackson, he's not going to be playing this weekend, but he finished with career high completion percentage, yardage, 29 total touchdowns this year. We see the offense finally has gotten him some help, some wide receiver help as well. So my question is, obviously, should Lamar Jackson be the MVP or no in Washington? To me, no. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think Lamar needs to be MVP because Christian McCaffrey has been balling. I can't discredit Christian McCaffrey what he's done this year. Mm-hmm. And you watch it. Did they lose against Baltimore? Absolutely, they did. But he still produced even in the loss. And I know he can't do it by himself. It's a team sport. But I feel like, they see, what he did. Lamar should be in MVP conversation, but I feel like he shouldn't win it because I don't want to discredit the CMCs or the Tyreek Hill. I know Tyreek Hill has kind of been down a couple with the injury. He's been fighting injuries and stuff, but that's just me. I just feel like CMC has been the MVP this year.
Who have they came out with? Who was the possibilities?
Said Lamar Jackson is leading, CMC, Tyreek Hill, Dak still up there. And I think Brock Purdy was the last one, and somebody else.
It's hard for them to give the MVP to somebody other than a QB. I'm gonna say that it's very hard like that.
That's why I'm doing this reviews.
Yeah, because I mean, don't get me wrong. Christian McCaffrey is Christian McCaffrey. And I mean, if Tyreek Hill really gets close to that 2,000, I mean, them two really do have a conversation. But as we know, it is very hard for them to consider a running back or a wide receiver, in all honesty, for the MVP. Like, they have to have some astounding and some outstanding numbers to do that, you know. So I'm not gonna say I wouldn't say Lamar doesn't deserve it. I mean, Todd Monken really has him looking very well. I will give him that, but as we know, it's hard not to say that he won't. I just can't just completely say no. Because again, I don't think Dak deserves it. I mean, if you want to put a QB in the conversation, you can put Brock Purdy in that conversation, to be honest with you. You know, but again, I'm not going to say completely that he's not. And I'm just going to, my why is because I don't see the NFL really actually going that route this year. Because if they do go that route, I'm just going to say this. If they pick a running back for MVP, the running backs are going to have a lot to talk about with that CBA and them earning some money. That's all I'm going to say.
I think you both have great points. I'm going to piggyback off both of them. I think that the first and foremost, the MVP is kind of a quarterback-driven award. For somebody outside of the quarterback position, I think you do have to have something extremely special happen. I think Tyreek Hill had a lot of potential for that earlier in the season before he got injured recently. I think if he would have reached that, or if he reaches that 2,000-yard barrier as a receiver, I think that's something to kind of push him over the top. CMC, again, same thing with him. I think he's had a wonderful year. Again, great team with San Francisco. I think one thing that goes against him is that team is so good and is so loaded. He doesn't have to really carry them. There's been instances where Tyreek has been basically carrying, that Miami team. I mean, whatever he does is pretty much what the offense does outside of maybe Mostert on that team. But when you look at San Francisco, they have Kittle, they got Debo, they got Ayuk, and then they have CMC as well. Again, Purdy is the quarterback out there. He's played pretty well. I think he's in the conversation. But with that being said, again, if CMC was out there and he was on that pace to get 1,000 and 1,000, get that 2,000 yards combined, I think that he would, definitely be pushed up in the conversation. But since as of right now, nothing special has happened, I don't think those guys are going to be elevated probably past the top 2 or 3 spots in the race. So that goes back to the quarterbacks. I'm going to go back to Lamar. I'm going to go back to Brock Purdy. I'm going to go back to that. Lamar has beaten badly San Francisco and outshined, Brock Purdy head up against one of the top defenses in the league. And he's coming off a 5-touchdown performance against the Miami Dolphins this past week. So with that being said, to me, it's an uneven year for MVP. Every couple of weeks we talk about it. I think every couple of weeks we throw different names out there. He got hot at the right time. He ended strong. It's normally given to the one of the top quarterbacks statistically, and also when their team is like one of the top seeds in the conference. He's got the number 1 seed in the AFC. So to me, it looks like it's his job, is his award to lose right now. So again, Brock Purdy could be possibly in the mix. Dak Prescott could be in the mix if your boy had 3. I think he need 200 yards, 300 yards receiving to get to 2,000.
I think so, around there.
I don't even know if he's playing this week. So I mean, that's going to be tough for him. And again, CMC, great year, offensive player of the year, definitely, possibly with him and Tyreek. I think it's kind of a toss up with them, but that MVP is going to be a quarterback driven spot. And let me tell you this, the folks, we can't bury, we can't kill, we can't put enough dirt on them. Do not sleep on Josh Allen slipping into the MVP race, because everybody else sitting down this week, if I'm not mistaken. Brock Purdy sitting down, Lamar sitting down. This boy done brought his team. Hey, we walked them out to the plank on week 10, week 11. They was on the plank. It was on the plank. Sharks was circling. You know what I'm talking about? trying to get some of that Bill meat, some of that Buffalo Bill meat. Oh, okay, I said a part. I don't sound right. But anyway.
Pause.
But anyway, they are still alive and can possibly get not no 5th, 6th, 7th seed. They can possibly get the number 2 seed in the AFC. It's the number 2 seed or nothing for them, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. But if he does that, he could possibly do 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. It's not out the ram. It's not out the ram.
Must-win game.
Must-win game. They've been in the playoffs since week 13.
So I got a question for you though, and I think I was watching Stephen A. and they made a reference to what Tom Brady said. Do you think the product of the NFL, how slightly mediocre to an extent this year, is the reason why it's kind of making it hard to see, for your opinion, to be the MVP?
I mean,
a little bit more context. Now he said that the
well, let's see it. Like Patrick Mahomes having a very, very off year for what we've seen.
So I feel like if Patrick Mahomes if he had a dog receiver, if he had a decent receiver maybe his year look different.
Coordinator, yeah, and then on top of that, he lost his offensive coordinator. So this is a new OC. You don't have any receivers. I mean, you
Jalen Hurts scored 38 touchdowns and he's got a bum knee. So I don't know if it's the mediocre, a mediocre year. We had a lot of injuries, and I think that some other guys have had strong years. You know what I mean? So I won't say mediocre product. I just think that this was just kind of a strange year.
Yeah.
No A-Rod in this year. It's just a strange year.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, you could tell it was going to be a weird year anyway. So again, I don't think a lot of people thought that the Ravens were going to be what the Ravens are, to be honest with you. When you think about it, everybody had and said that, the Super Bowl was going to run through KC over there, that the AFC North was going to be a very difficult, division. When it came down to it, I don't think everybody kind of figured the teams would be the way that they are right now. We had the Cardinals being the worst in the NFC. We didn't think the Panthers would be the worst. You know what I mean? We thought the Texans would be the worst over there in the AFC. You got the Texans who literally was what? And they probably still are. I haven't really checked the standings, but
8-7.
They fight for the playoff spot.
And who would have thought that? When we would have thought that they would have been worse. I mean, look at the Colts. Nobody would have thought AR would have went down, but look at what Garner Minshew is doing. So, again, this like
9-7 over there for Houston.
They're 9-7. So yeah, nobody would have never thought that they would go freaking 9-7.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's one of those years. So I don't think it's making it hard for the MVP, because I mean, they were even saying that a rookie could have possibly got it. They were trying to give it to CJ Stroud. So I'm not going to say that it wasn't difficult this year. I just felt like the process that we're looking at, even that we're thinking that a running back like CMC or even Tyreek Hill can get it, is what I think is kind of throwing a lot of people off. Like I said, the MVP is known for a QB award, and to throw in a wide receiver and a running back in this conversation, and they have been killing the game this season. I think that's why a lot of people are looking at it that this was like a down year, and this is why we couldn't basically tell what the MVP is. I'm like, nah, it's clear cut what the MVP is. I just don't think that it will be handed to a running back or a wide receiver.
Agreed.
Okay. Well, that was a good conversation. So let's get to our favorite part of the show. It is, for the final time in the regular season, we have our Week 18 picks for the 2023 NFL season. Guys, we got 2 Saturday games, and the rest of the games will be on Sunday. We have playoff implications. We have draft implications. We have head coaches leaving after this year. We have players with doubt in their future. So let's go ahead and start with the game at 4:30 on Saturday. You have the Pittsburgh Steelers playing at Baltimore. Pittsburgh has 2 ways to get into playoffs. Baltimore pretty much locked everything up. They win. Jacksonville, they lose. Houston, Texans don't enter the tie, and they need the Bills to lose.
Oh, that's
Pittsburgh
too much.
in.
Just lose the game.
Yeah. So one more time, you said they need Buffalo to lose, Jacksonville to lose,
and they need to win.
And they need to win. Well, automatically they start to win. But now what? What's the thing with Jackson? I mean, with Houston and Indy.
It can't enter the tie, but we know. To me, it's not going to enter the tie.
Okay.
Houston and Colts.
Okay. All right.
Like I said, just lose the game. I got Baltimore.
And because of that, I'm guessing Baltimore would fall. I'm sorry, not Baltimore. Buffalo would fall out because they lose, so they're pretty much automatically out. With that being said, check this out right here. It's a lot going on in that game. It's a lot going on that can happen in that game, and I don't know how these folks have won 9 games. They got Mason, the red-nosed reindeer Rudolph out here playing quarterback.
Leave Rudolph, leave Mason Rudolph alone.
I'm gonna tell you like this: I know the Ravens are sitting Lamar for sure. I don't know who else is sitting for Baltimore, but somehow, some way, all the Tomlin haters they're gonna be hating again because he's gonna not just win 9 games; he's gonna win 10 games this year. He's going to win 10 games this year, and I don't know if y'all make the playoffs or not, but y'all not going to get rid of him. He's going to come back and be y'all coach. I know y'all hate it, but that's just the way it is. 10 games for him this year. They win. Steelers.
You got the Steelers?
Yeah. I don't know about Tyrod starting out there. I don't know who else going to be sitting out there. They may be running. I don't know who's going to be the running backs, wide receivers. I don't know. I'm going to go with the Steelers in this, man. Mike Tomlin. Pittsburgh is favored by 4. The over-under is 35.5, so Vegas knows something.
Okay. I'm going to go black and yellow with them numbers.
Yeah, so I got the Steelers. I mean, Ravens already got their stuff locked up. That game's not going. It's a rivalry game, but within context of trying to lose a spot, they're not going to lose a spot.
I'm about to say, would the Ravens try to keep the Steelers out the playoffs? Or they don't care?
That's a possibility. I mean, we'll see. I mean, Tyler Huntley has played in the league, but he's also 0-3 against the Steelers.
Damn, Tyler. Okay.
So I got Pittsburgh winning.
Okay. All threesy?
Yeah. All threesy.
Oh,
so they gonna be watching on Sunday. Their nerves gonna be tore all to pieces.
35.5 is a little bit low. I'm gonna go over on the points though. Just a little pointer for y'all. That's a little low. That's an 18-17 game, 19-16 game. I think at least we can get 20-16 out of this. Let's win some money this week. Let's get this Christmas money back, baby.
He said, "Let's get this Christmas money back." Who spent all that Christmas money?
I did, you did, we did.
I didn't spend that much because my son is older, so all he was asking for was electronics. Ooh. And it was only one major electronic that I got him. So yeah, we'll try. We'll try.
All right, so we have the Colts and the Texans for the nightcap on Saturday. This is tough, man. Both teams 9-7. Both teams exceeded expectations from the media, from other fan bases, and from even their own fan base. CJ Stroud, this first primetime game, and get the Colts to see the opportunity.
Playing? Is CJ playing?
Yeah, CJ gonna be
playing. He played last week, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. I thought they set him down for one more.
So CJ's playing, Nico's playing. My man Tank Dell is out for the year. So is this game for the division, I guess, if Jacksonville loses? This is the winner of this will be the division winner.
I think it's for the 7th. Is it for the 7th seed? I think it's for the 7th seed. Because both of them 9-7. Well,
I think Jacksonville is 9-7 as well.
Oh, hold up. They haven't won the league either.
So it looks like there could possibly be, and I heard your possibilities earlier. Looks like the Texans, Colts, and Jaguars possibly can be competing for 2 playoff spots. The divisional win and possibly a wild card can come out of that division. So this is a very, very important game. We should have all hands on deck for this one.
So what?
Jonathan Taylor back. One more time, E.
I said, what was the scenario?
The Texans, Colts, and Jaguars are all 9-7. So it's 3 teams. One of them can win a division, and one of them can qualify for a wild card spot. So 2 teams can come out of the AFC
can't
South.
lose? The Jags can't lose. I said, who can't lose?
You know what? I think all of them have a chance to lose. I think if the Texans and the Colts end up in a tie, and then the Steelers win, they can jump them. But I don't think it's gonna be no tie in this game. This is a good game right here. This is tough. Over under is 47.5.
I think
is favored by 1.5.
I think the Texans and the Colts game is for the 7th seed. Whoever wins that game, they win and they're in. It's basically a win and end situation for the Texans.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say. That sounds like a win and end situation.
Yeah,
okay.
I think for the Jaguars, they win the division.
But if
let's say this. If they all are 9-7, and whoever wins Saturday becomes 10-7, whoever loses is going to be 9-8. If the Jaguars lose, they lose a division.
It sounds like if the Jaguars lose, they out.
I don't want to say out because I think Buffalo is the tricky spot. It's something that's tricky about Buffalo and that conference, the number of wins that they've had within the conference. They can win their game and get the number 2 seed, but if they lose, even though I believe they're 9-7 as well, if they lose, I believe they fall totally out of the playoffs because they're going to lose every tiebreaker with remaining 9-8 teams.
So Jaguars own the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Colts and the Texans in the AFC South.
Right. So it's a win and end. It's basically a win and end for the Jaguars. They win the division.
Yeah.
Okay, they win. It's win and end for them.
So
it's a win or go home for Texans and the Colts.
Win or go home for Texans and the Colts. Okay.
Yeah, let's see here. I need to.
Because Jacksonville currently the 4th seed. They're the 4th seed right now.
Yeah, they're the 4th seed because they're the top of the division because they own the head-to-head.
Right.
So since they own,
it's basically the 7th.
Because right now in the hunt are Jaguars, so they're number 4. So yeah, you're right, DT. It's a win and get in for the Jaguars. And Bills is next. They got Miami, and then you have the Colts.
And I think the Bills can jump as high as 2.
That's what I'm saying. If they win, they're gonna, because I believe Miami has 1 game on them. But if they win, they're gonna win that division. They're gonna win the tiebreaker with Miami.
Yeah.
But if they lose, then they're gonna possibly fall behind some of these other 9-7 teams, and they don't own the tiebreaker with them.
Yeah, that's true.
They're hoping they're hoping for their only recourse is for everybody to lose and for this game to become a tie. You know how you said that the Pittsburgh Steelers are hoping this game doesn't become a tie? Buffalo is hoping that this game ends in a tie if they lose.
Okay.
Scenarios.
So the Texans clinched the AFC South with a win and a Jaguar loss.
Ooh.
Houston gets a playoff berth with a win or a tie and a Jacksonville loss and a Pittsburgh loss.
Ooh. Oh, we chose Pittsburgh too. That ain't gonna be good. That ain't gonna be good, yo.
Who we got in this damn game? Who we got in this damn game though?
Hold on. I'm not picking this one because I can't.
What you mean you're not picking this?
I can't. Hold on. I gotta
listen. You will wake up tomorrow. It is not a death wish. You will be okay. Go and pick that game.
Look, hold on. Wait a minute. Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville win the AFC South with a win or a tie between the Colts and the Texans. Okay. And then Jacksonville earns a playoff spot with a tie, and a Pittsburgh loss or tie, or a Pittsburgh loss and a Denver loss or tie to Las Vegas, provided the Texans versus Colts game doesn't end in a damn tie. God fucking damn it!
Hey, you don't want to see no ties in this game.
You don't want to see none. Hold on, and then here go the Buffalo Bills. The Bills clinched the AFC East with a win over the Dolphins, which we know. Buffalo clinches a wild card berth with a tie or a Steelers loss or a tie to the Ravens or a Jaguars loss or a tie to the Texans or a tie between the Texans and the Colts. God, look, all I'm gonna say is this.
Someone just win, please. I beg you.
Oh my God. So you basically got the Jaguars, the Houston Texans, the Colts, and the freaking Buffalo Bills, depending on
don't die, Bills, baby. Don't die.
Look, look, and who played first? Who like
Pittsburgh plays first.
Okay, so when does the Bills play? Do everybody play at 1 on Sunday?
No. The Bills play at night. They're the night
Saturday night.
Okay, they played on. Okay, so they're playing
whoever win that game is gonna sleep easy a little bit on Sunday.
Look. I'm just gonna say this. I feel like Mike Tomlin wants to play spoiler, so I'm gonna keep the pick for the Steelers.
Oh, they're gonna win. They're gonna win.
I feel like he wants to play spoilers because it's too many teams relying on a loss from Pittsburgh. Ooh, shoot. I'm gonna go. Ooh.
Ain't gonna lie, man.
I'm gonna go with CJ, and I hope CJ win his first game to get into the playoffs. I'm going CJ. CJ Stroud. Houston, Texas me. Even though I don't like Texas, but Texas me.
I love CJ. But for some reason, man, I just seen a stat talking about Jonathan Taylor. He loves going off against the Texans. And if he's playing this week, he might get. I gotta go with the Colts, man. I love you, CJ. It's just not your year this year, but you'll get in there next year.
Colts at home. Jonathan Taylor back. Michael Pittman playing this game. Do we trust Gardner Minshew in this moment?
Ooh.
Do we trust a young Stroud in this moment? Do we trust the new head coach in Houston in this moment? I don't trust none of them, so I'm just gonna flip a coin. I'm going with the Texans, man. I want CJ, and I want the new coach over there, man, to again experience the playoffs. I've been to Houston a couple times this year, and they've treated me very, very well down there. So let's go, Houston. Let's do what you need to do, man. Let's do what you need to do.
CJ Stroud,
best food city in America, bar none. I don't care about no New Orleans. Best food city in America, Houston, Texas.
I'm gonna say this. I need CJ to invoke that inner game that he had with Ohio State versus Georgia, because this is what that is again. All right.
3-1 in primetime games.
Yep. Jesus. I'm definitely gonna be looking into that game. Woo! Jesus.
All right. The Bucks and the Panthers. I got the Bucks winning.
Is the Baker play? Is Baker playing?
Are they in the playoffs too, aren't they?
This is for that division. This is for that division, right?
For the NFC South. If the Bucks beat the Panthers, they win the NFC South. If not, if the Panthers beat the Bucks, the odds are going to turn to the Falcons and to the Saints, because either one of us we win the South, and that could be a playoff spot.
Y'all playing each other?
We all playing each other at the same damn time.
Ooh, that's nasty.
I'm going with the Bucks in this one. I'm going with the Bucks, man.
I'm gonna say the Panthers because I don't know if Baker playing. Okay. Panthers come through. Right. Come on, little bro. Come on, little bro.
They could have old boy that used to play at Florida. They still beat the Panthers. I got the Bucks.
Damn, now the old boy who played at Florida. Now old boy, already know his name. Old boy played at Florida. He might be the next Zamir White. You never know.
Oh Lord. That's all I'm gonna look. We're not gonna let you live that one down, though. We're not letting you live that one down, Henry.
I know y'all won't, man. Shout out to Zamir, man. I hope you keep it up.
As soon as you were like discrediting the brother scored a couple.
I didn't discredit him. I just didn't believe in him. I didn't discredit him. I didn't believe in him. That's all. I just want to be clear. My belief was not strong.
With new information, a wise man's opinion must change.
Okay, all right. He's good. He in the NFL. I mean, he ain't no slouch. But, yeah.
We got the Browns and the Bengals. We already know the Bengals ain't going, so go Browns.
But so I'm gonna tell you now, hold on now, because
does it really matter though?
It don't really matter.
See lock.
Flacco not playing.
Yeah, Flacco not playing.
I don't know who's sitting down for the Bengals. I might go Bengals here.
Yeah, but
might be some people trying to please themselves.
It doesn't hurt the Browns. They already locked in the 5th seed. But I'm gonna go Bengals, but I don't think it's gonna hurt the Browns. They already locked in the 5th seed. I think
it's not gonna hurt them.
Yeah.
I'm about to break it. I'm going Browns.
Okay. Going Browns. All right. Cool.
Every time we go all three together, somebody gonna lose. We all lose.
Ain't DTR on IR?
You said what now?
So.
Ain't DTR on IR? Didn't he put on IR? Who quarterbacking for the Browns?
Oh man, I don't know.
Somebody ain't on IR.
Somebody getting an opportunity of a lifetime.
Okay.
Maybe. He might be out there like a crash test dummy. You don't never know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
All right, we got the Jets and the Patriots. Jets and Patriots. This is somebody show me a stat that since like week 10 or something, Patriots had a top
the tail of the two mids.
It's not even mid no more. This is getting to the bottom of the barrel, man.
It's possibly Belichick's last game in New England too.
Give me Patriots.
I think they're gonna go out with a win, man. Patriots gonna get the dub for Belichick.
Okay, give me Patriots. Jets gave up a long.
Who they quarterback again? Bailey Zappi.
Yeah, Bailey Zappi.
I'm gonna go to Jets, man. I just don't believe in.
To update y'all on the quarterback for the Browns is Jeff Driscoll.
Oh hell no! I thought that was the guy from Florida you was referencing that was gonna steal beat up. I thought that was the guy from Florida. It's another guy from Florida.
Trash.
Somebody else.
Trash.
Yeah.
Oh, Trash.
Trash. He said trash.
No.
Trash.
No, Mayfield playing.
Come on, man. They ain't what his mama named them. They ain't what his mama named them now. Go ahead now.
Okay, Trash. Kyle Trash.
Are you saying trash?
Trash.
Okay.
Trash.
Sound like trash.
I shouldn't even have to say his name this many times because he's not really a factor like that. But yeah, I'm sorry. So Jeff Driscoll playing for who? Cleveland? Yeah, Cincinnati. Battle of the Jeffs. Jeff Browning and Jeff Driscoll.
I'll go Cincinnati.
I'll stay with my Browns. Let's go, Jeff.
Which one?
I ain't talking about the trash. Trash suck.
No, I'm talking about, it's two Jeffs in that game. Two Jeff Browning and Jeff Driscoll.
I'm Driscoll. Go get look. My first and last time depending on the freaking Gator.
Oh.
Depending on the freaking Gator. That's all I'm gonna say. Better not let me down.
All right, next game we have the Titans hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. We already heard the scenarios for that, so it's a winning in for the Jaguars, and they win the.
Now let me ask you this: Is Trevor Lawrence playing in this game?
That's what I was going to say.
He's gonna have to,
because he got a sore AC joint or something, right?
Yeah, well,
he just sore overall.
Okay,
he's been through it. Titans gonna play them tough though. We know how Vabra coaches his team.
It's a divisional rival. So yeah, he's gonna have to play. Lawrence is gonna have to play. I know that's not what they want.
I'm going with the Jaguars because they've been a solid road team, and they need this win. So I'm gonna go with the Jaguars in this game. I hope he plays. If he doesn't, man, all bets are off. Is Ryan Tannehill playing for Tennessee or is
I think Levis is back.
Oh, he's back. Okay. I'm gonna go Jaguars.
Unless they trust him because he's the veteran that has experience to play in this game.
Right.
For what? They 5-11. What they need him to play in this? I mean, to win.
Hey, you want to play spoiler?
They needed him to be a veteran presence 6 weeks ago.
Look, I'm just gonna say this: if you want to play spoiler, there's teams out there that want to play spoilers.
Okay, I ain't tripping. They need. It's time for them to play draft now. It's time to play draft.
That's quick.
That ain't gonna be a nail biter.
I'm going with the Jaguars.
It's gonna be a nail biter.
I'm going with Jaguars too. I think they get their job done and secure their seed. Seahawks and Cardinals.
Seahawks got that one.
Cardinals been playing some inspired.
Oh, my student said you tripping. You didn't see Kyler Murray on Sunday. I said, man, they play the Eagles, man.
It's exactly. And I'm going Seattle. Because don't Seattle has it?
They still trying to get in.
Yeah.
They still trying to get in. So I'm going Seattle as well.
Producer just hit me up, said Rappaport doesn't think that Trevor Lawrence will be playing. He's barely throwing.
All down. Hot dollar. Wait a minute. Them boys might be sitting home watching the game with us eating Cheetos.
Are we getting a Derrick Henry touchdown this week again?
Oh man.
Oh man.
Good. I don't.
If
he don't play, I know we have moved on games, but if he don't play, do y'all trust? Is it CJ Beathard?
I haven't seen him. I was trying to watch the game Sunday. I didn't get an opportunity. They put up points and stuff, but
he's from Iowa, ain't
he? Yeah, that's
not him playing against a Tennessee Titans team that's willing to play spoiler.
And they got Tannehill playing. Yeah. So I see otherwise.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with the Jaguars for right now, but I reserve the right. Same. I reserve the right because I don't know about that.
Okay. Where were we? We're with the
Seahawks.
I'm gonna go Seattle. They need this game, but I'm looking at this game. And Seattle is one of the places I would like Justin Fields to somehow end up in Atlanta or Seattle. So I'm if they don't make the playoffs, I think they make a play for Justin Fields. So that's my early offseason headline.
Ooh, okay. Hey, look, I've been hearing a lot of people talk about the fit between Atlanta, but also Seattle. I have heard that countless times between my community and a couple of people I have talked to. So I'm gonna go with Seattle as well. I think they're gonna be playing for some. Cardinals gonna be playing for some. Well, they're gonna be playing for pride, but ultimately, I think the weaponry that they have, they're gonna overcome some of the deficiencies within the corner room for the Arizona Cardinals.
One last little caveat. I heard them make they asked the coach about Kyler Murray and is he their guy, and he gave him a glowing endorsement. If they're not really into a quarterback in that first pick, they could be competitive in this game. Just saying. We saw him pop Philadelphia last week. That's all I'm gonna say. Lady E, it's on you.
We talking about the Bears and Green Bay?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You gave your Seahawks.
I said the Seahawks.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Before y'all even started talking, I was like, I'm going Seahawks.
Okay, I'm sorry. DT, yeah, where we going next?
The Bears and Packers. Kids gave me flat today when I went through these picks.
Now this one here, because this is the Packers.
Is this Phil's legacy game? Is this Phil's legacy game? Being the Packers to secure his spot next year?
No, I mean, I think beating us actually kind of did it, but I'm not gonna say anything.
I don't think this gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen. To be honest with you, I really like the way the Packers have been playing fairly recently. Defense has been.
They don't have a chance. The Packers don't have a chance anymore, do they?
Yeah, they do.
They do too.
Who, the Bears?
The Bears got eliminated last week.
No, the Packers can get that either that 7th or that 6th spot. If the Rams lose and they win, someone else has to lose. And I think Seattle loses. I think that Green Bay can get in. It's between those last two spots are between Green Bay, the Rams, and Seattle.
Yep.
Well, I'm going Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay as well. The game is in Green Bay. I'm going Green Bay. Watch Jordan Love in this game. Yeah.
I think Fields already know he could be on his way out, and I think Jordan Love is really the one that's trying to solidify that he's the quarterback of the future for Green Bay.
Okay. Chiefs and Chargers. Mahomes gonna be sitting this game. They already secured their spot. You know, they've been struggling so
the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was like, who they back up?
Y'all asking the wrong brother.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I don't know who the Chargers gonna be playing.
Blaine Gabbert. I'm gonna just go to the Chargers for good measures.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chargers too, man. Looks like nobody's playing for the Chiefs. Their Chargers are favored in this game by 3.5, and a 35.5 over under on this game. So I'm guessing very few folks from the Chiefs are playing, and possibly very few folks from the Chargers are playing. I'm just gonna go Chargers. They're at home.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
Okay.
I said Chargers for good measures. Then we got who we got next? Broncos. I am going Raiders.
I got the Raiders too.
Raiders. I just the whole hoopla and mess that's going on.
Oh yeah, Russell Wilson sitting down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the Raiders too.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think?
For head coach.
Yeah. Can he get this job, or if he doesn't get this job, is he a front runner or a wanted candidate for other jobs?
I feel like Davis don't want to make the same mistake again.
Yeah.
That's my thing, because
I know think Devontae Adams and Josh are going to be the ones that help lead them to that direction because they like the coach. It's either that or you lose them.
He's putting attitudes in it. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, we gotta see.
He brought that attitude of justice.
I think he should get definitely, if not that job, definitely be looked at for some of the other head coaching jobs out here.
Yep.
What's next, DT?
The Eagles and the Giants. This is my upset pick of the week. I got the Giants.
Ooh.
So who's not playing? Who's not playing? Let me know who's not playing in this game. Is Hurts playing?
Probably not.
I haven't heard any,
now, wait a minute. Now the Eagles, they need to win this game to try to win a division, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they got to play this game. Okay, yeah, I'm going Eagles.
I got the Giants.
Hold on, let me see some. What's the numbers on this, Henry?
5.5 for Philadelphia. The over/under is 42.5. Giants are at home. Who's the quarterback? It's not Tony DeVito anymore. It's gonna
be Tyrod.
Tyrod, shoot me in the ribs, Taylor.
You know what? I just realized what the heck he done said.
Nasty, bro.
That is nasty work.
Hey man, listen, that was the team physician that did him like that.
Let me see here.
That man came in and got a $200 million contract after that shot.
Both NFC East games are at 425, by the way. So it's gonna be scoreboard watching.
So Cowboys win, they're in. Cowboys lose, Eagle win, in. Okay.
So for the Eagles to win the East and finish as the number 2 seed, they have to beat the Giants, and they need the Cowboys to lose to the Commanders. The other scenario is for them to win the East and finish at number 3 is the Eagles tie, Cowboys lose to us, and the Lions beat the Vikings.
Oh, we'll get number 2?
The way it's looking, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, okay.
It's some implications. I don't know, man. I feel like if Tyrod had started the Eagles game, I think it would have been way different scoreboard wise. Because last couple of minutes he was cooking, and seen last couple of weeks he's been throwing the ball downfield, getting the wide receivers involved. I got the Giants, man. That's gonna make their job easy. It's gonna make the job easy.
That's gutsy right there, man. You know, you hoping that there's a Giant team that hasn't already booked all their flights, man, for San Juan and Mykonos and all those spots, man. You hoping that they really still, there to play. I don't know, man.
I'm going Eagles. Eagles. Because Sam Howell is playing for Washington. So I think Dallas is going to go ahead and do what they got to go do unless they decide to sit Dak and the majority of them.
Brazil, they out of here, man. Perry. You know what I'm saying? They minds is up out of here.
What game we talking about?
You see what I'm saying? That's how they thinking right now. That's what they thinking right now. What game we talking?
I'm
Coach,
dead. No, but I got the Eagles. I got the Eagles winning, and I know the Washington Commanders. Y'all playing Sam Howell for this game, and like I said, I don't know if Dallas is sitting anybody, but I'm gonna go Dallas.
No. Dallas need that. Dallas need the game.
Okay, because I'm like, I don't know if Dallas is sitting anybody, because I'm gonna be like Henry. I have the right.
And it look like a lot of our guys gonna be sitting out. So going to be
what the hell they sitting out for?
Hey man, I don't know.
What? See what I'm saying?
Just get the job done. Pull a Florida State, man.
Pull a Florida State. They protesting Ron. They don't even want to see Ron one more day.
Oh,
hey man, what my boy Nate Dogg say? One more day.
I'm dead. Los Angeles Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
Nobody's playing in this game.
Carson Wentz is starting for the Rams. Just getting y'all a reminder. Sam Darnold is starting for the 49ers.
He is.
So it's the what if ball.
LA is already in. 49ers already win. So really don't matter.
I'm really going Rams on this one. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm going Rams.
Carson Wentz resurgence. This what you on? Resurgence of Carson Wentz? Lord have mercy. This is 2024. We starting off crazy.
Hey, there's a lot of teams looking for a quarterback. I'm just saying.
No, let them be a pastor. I don't even know
who to pick. I'm gonna go with the Niners just because they're the Niners. But yeah. Hope nobody gets hurt.
That's true.
Why y'all saying that? We're talking about teams out of the court. I think it's for Sam Darnold as well. I think Sam Darnold want to start somewhere. So I got the 49ers.
I'm going Rams. Let's go. Bills versus Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to bounce back and beat the Bills, and the Bills ain't going to the playoffs. Woo-woo!
There goes that. I guess it look like me and CHenry on this island, man.
Listen, Lady Even trying to put that dirt on these boys, man. She's been trying to really, really bury these boys for weeks. But the Dolphins are too beat up, man. I'm hearing that Tyreek may not play this week. Bradley Chubb is out for the season. Raheem Mostert ain't been spotted at practice. They chilling this week. This is a bye week for them. This they bye week. Because they can lose this game and still be in it. They at home, they 7-1, but I'm going with the can't die Buffalo Bills. Won't die Buffalo Bills. Can't stop, won't stop, man. And Josh Allen might work his way into the MVP race with an outstanding showing in this game.
I got the Bills.
Dolphins, don't y'all let me down.
The Bills.
Don't let me down.
No one circles the wagons.
Look,
like the
you talking about the Bills? I'm trying to avoid the Bills.
I'm trying to avoid the Bills. It's nasty. You know that's nasty. We got to take care of business.
Vikings versus Lions. I got the Lions.
Oh, you got the Lions.
Nick Mullins is starting. Lions, they're gonna come out angry, swinging, especially after that call. They're gonna take care of business. I got the Lions.
Highway robbery.
They were robbed.
You know what? I'm gonna take the Lions too, but I don't know how long our guys are gonna play. I don't know how long.
Take them out after the first quarter. If y'all up a score, take them out the first quarter.
Yeah,
or the first half, whatever y'all feel.
And again, you know, this is a situation that we haven't been in before. This regime hasn't been in before, so gonna be interesting to see how they play it. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull guys after a quarter, maybe two. We see actually the Vikings win this game. But I'm gonna go Lions right now. But hey, don't throw no money on this game. If you got folks who are teams that are having considerable amount of folks sitting, you might not want to bet on those games this week.
Exactly.
All right.
Or make some money and bet the either the over or the under, or go with the underdog, and let's make some money this week. But not if you got a problem. Y'all call that 1-800 number. Y'all got the problem.
Crazy. Falcons versus Saints. Hell, I don't.
Playoff implications.
I could care less.
You've been saying that for 5-6 weeks, and now all of a sudden you over here talking about come on, love, bro.
She sound like me.
I just said look. Because I don't want the Bucks to win. I'm tired of them. Because if they do that, that makes it like 3 straight years they won the freaking division.
Is Ritter playing in this game, or is it Heineke this week?
I think it's TH.
Heineke was limited.
Oh, he hurt.
He's already limited.
Ankle. And Ritter actually has his best games against the Saints. He did so the last time we played at the Saints. So I can't tell you. All I know is this. If they come back with a win in the playoffs, we keep Arthur Smith. If they lose, it's going to be some tough conversations going on this offseason. So I think half the fans want us to lose.
What side of the fence is Lady E on?
We can tie, and I could care less.
Come on, Lady E.
We can tie it. I could care less. But you already know I'm gonna go with my team. That's my squad. I'm Dirty Bird to the day I die.
What time y'all playing? Y'all playing 1 o'clock?
We play the same time as the Bucks and the Panthers.
So, but what you know, being on board with your team and winning this game, now how do you feel about Arthur Smith?
Be honest with you. If we keep him, he needs to get rid of the play calling. He doesn't need to call plays. I need you to be a head coach, and then I need you to hire a QB coach and a passing game coordinator. Like, I need that. If he doesn't want to do that and he doesn't feel like anything is wrong, then I need you to be shipped off to FedEx. You know, next day air. Thank you.
That's nasty. I get the reference. That's nasty.
Yeah, like shipped off to FedEx. You know, that's basically what it is. So Yeah, that's my feeling at this point, because it's just certain things that I'm just looking at like, child. So yeah, that's my thoughts. You know, y'all can pick the Saints. It ain't gonna make me mad.
I'm having a hard time picking the Saints. I'm gonna pick them though, but I'm not gonna be shocked if y'all win. Derek Carr is definitely not that guy.
He's been not that guy.
I don't know how they're gonna solve that situation. I know people in Louisiana talking about bringing Bladen Daniels back in the area, so I'm gonna go with the Saints, but I think it's gonna be way closer than what it's gonna be close because it's a division game, but might be an overtime or something.
So game is in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Saints by 3, 42.5 over. And Atlanta's a tough team for me because when I bet against them, they tend to win. Then when I bet for them, they tend to lose. So I'm tempted to take the Saints right now, but I'm gonna go against it. I'm gonna use that little logic I just threw out there. But I'm gonna go with the Falcons, man. Somehow, some way, I don't know what Ritter is gonna do. He might get loose for 2 or 3 scores rushing, but it all comes down to him and what he does, man. Because they got the pieces around him to be successful. It's just about really how he uses them and gets those other pieces involved. So I'm gonna go Falcons. What y'all gonna do with Pitts? Pitts to be pretty much due for a contract soon.
I put it to you like this: if we get a new coach, he's gonna have to show some things, because even though with this year he was getting the ball, he still wasn't 100% after that knee.
Okay.
So it's going to be full 100% with the knee, but I expect to also have a new quarterback. So hopefully we can sit over here and get him the ball more. Because if not, I don't know if he'll be asking for a new contract with us. I'll say that. And me and Deuce gonna have a fight about that.
Listen, I don't mind that, man. Him.
Well, I'm saying, I think that'll be a good
Justin Fields.
I'll take the Justin Fields for 5, Bob.
But Kirk.
I don't want Kirk.
Kirk gonna get 1,000-yard receiver, and with Pitts, he might be 12, 13 yards, maybe 8, 9 touchdowns. Boost fantasy next year, man.
Drake London, man.
You want to
I don't know why you hating on Kirk. Kirk, all right.
I'm good. I like Kirk Change, but I just don't like Kirk Change from my team. He will look good in the Commanders colors. I'm just saying.
He had them colors on him before. They ain't want them.
What I'm saying, you like that? Let's just welcome him back.
They would love that right now. They would love that.
Welcome him back with open arms.
They would love that.
Welcome him back. Open arms.
I would not love that. We're a flip-floppy fan base anyway.
Oh Lord, ain't that everybody fan base?
I don't know, man. At least y'all had a franchise quarterback. I can't name a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, and our owner jacked that up.
Yeah. Oh Jesus!
Y'all won Super Bowls with non-franchise quarterbacks. Y'all the blueprint for team building.
Yeah,
well, y'all was the blueprint. Not no more. Y'all was back in the day.
I know.
You said I know.
Well, cousins. Hey man, this was a good episode. Should have been earlier. Your boy had to get some teacher nap in, man.
Yeah, he was knocked the hell out. In other words,
I was tired, man. I was tired.
It's all good, man. It's all good, man. It was right on time, baby. Godspeed.
But with that being said, this is End of the Land podcast today. We're going to come back next week and we're going to look at the Black Monday edition, some of the moves that's going to be happening within some of these teams. Ron Rivera, Belichick, Arthur Smith, possible new destination for these new coaching staffs to come in and take over for these franchises. And we're also going to preview the playoffs for next week, and we're also going to review the national championship for my boy CHenry, whether they win or lose. So with that being said,
maybe Harbaugh be finding another residence on that Monday.
Harbaugh. He got an agent. He has an agent.
He has an agent. Yeah, there's a lot of topics to discuss next week. With that being said, this is Enter the Lab podcast presented by Red Zone DC Media. It's your boy DT. We got Lady E and the OG CHenry. We're going to see you guys next week on this platform. Happy New Year's, everybody. We're back.
Happy New Year.